Yeah, baby, we are back. WLTH 1370 AM. It is 6:48 p.m. 12 minutes to the top of the hour on a Friday night. Pretty decent Friday night for November. Veterans Day, we get busy here on My Country with Sky Cannon on WLTH 1370 AM. In the first block, we talked about Rashida Tlaib being censured by Congress, and basically how Israel and Israeli sympathizers basically run our Congress and our government and our media. So it is possible that the consistent capitulation to Israel is having some deleterious effect on President Joe Biden's support with the Arab community. As protests across the United States are denouncing Joe Biden for refusing to support a ceasefire in Gaza while arming Israel's deadly bombardment of Palestine, polls conducted by the Arab American Institute revealed that Joe Biden's support amongst Arab American voters is plummeting, dropping from 59% to 17%. So he's gone from 60% to 17% since 2020. In the 27 years that Zogby has been polling, they have never seen such a dramatic collapse in support in such a short period of time. And again, I have to give the immigrant community, Arab Americans, a lot of credit for standing up for themselves. Unlike the black community who say we will vote for the Democrats no matter what awful things they do to us and say to us, they are saying, nope, we will find somebody else to vote for. Now, if Joe Biden wants to win them back, he's going to have to win them back. But they're not going to pledge all their support to the Democrats and Joe Biden just because the other guy's worst. Because that's all I'm seeing online is people going, well, if you think that Joe Biden is bad, what do you think Trump is going to do? Arab Americans are not trying to hear that. They have dignity. I am not about, they're like a battered woman or something. Like, I'm not about to let my husband beat me up and slap me around just because the next guy may shoot me. If the next guy shoot me, he's just going to have to shoot me. But I'm not going to sit here and be disrespected and slapped around by you. And that's why I stopped allowing the Democratic Party to slap me around. Okay? Saying the next guy may shoot me is not good enough of a reason for me to let you keep slapping me around. Here's NAFTA. Here's the Clinton crime bill. Here's the Telecommunications Act of 96. Here's welfare reform. Here's the war in Iraq. Here's destroying Libya. Here's expanding the Patriot Act, writing the Patriot Act and expanding it, which Joe Biden actually did. Here's lecturing black people about not feeding our kids fried chicken for breakfast, which is what Obama did. We're going to talk about him later on after the Happy Happies. So the Arab American community actually has guts to say to Joe Biden and the Democrats, look, you guys are not going to disrespect us like this, and we keep supporting you. You are not just going to say Trump is the boogeyman, Trump is the devil, and you're going to scare us into voting for you. We have dignity. That is what people with dignity do. People without dignity say, well, I don't care what you do to me. As long as the other person might do something worse, I don't care what you do to me. The Arab Americans have dignity, and I respect them for that. But that's only the beginning of Joe Biden's terrible, really bad, no good, very bad week, okay? New polls are showing that Donald Trump is actually beating Joe Biden in several battleground states. Like, seriously, like, how humiliating must that be to be losing to a man with like 965 indictments against him? Right now, Donald Trump is beating Joe Biden. Like, seriously, a New York Times Siena poll has showed that Donald Trump is beating Biden in 5 of the 6 battleground states. Trump was ahead of Biden by a range of 4 to 10 points in Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Only Pennsylvania, where Trump is leading by about 4, is within the margin of error. Only Wisconsin was in the Biden win column where he squeaked out a 2-point victory. He is bleeding support across Hispanic voters and black voters, especially younger ones. Shocking. Shocking. Who could have predicted that Joe Biden would that people would start finally waking up? It is the young, finally. His support amongst non-white voters has dropped 33 points compared to 2020 results. Now, here's the bad news. The bad news is that Donald Trump's support among black voters has gone up to 22%, which the New York Times has said is unseen in presidential politics for a Republican in modern times. I mean, not really indicative of anything important, but the rapper Sexy Red has come out and said that she supports Donald Trump. And she said they actually asked her why she supports Trump. She said, yeah, a lot of people in the hood support Trump. She said they think he got swag or something stupid. I hope she's wrong, but more and more it looks like she may not be 100% wrong. And even a lot of people who helped and supported Biden and worked with Biden, like David Axelrod, who was the Democratic strategist who put Barack Obama in the White House 15 years ago. That's in the next segment after the Happy Happies in the C block. I'm sorry, the D block. He actually said that he needs to decide whether being the Democratic nominee is wise, whether it's in his best interest or the country's. Only Joe Biden can make the decision whether he wants to run. But if he continues to run and he is the nominee of the Democratic Party, is that what's in the best interest of the country? You know, the rats are fleeing the ship, everybody. Like, even a lot of the hardcore Democratic supporters are saying Joe Biden needs to step down. Now, the question is, who? You know, Kamala Harris is even more unpopular than Joe Biden is. I told you guys right here when I was on Monday nights with Jonathan back in 2016, 2017, that they were going to try to prop Kamala Harris up. That's who they really wanted in 2020. The elites, the elite liberal, you know, California, New York, well-heeled people. But Kamala Harris is unfortunately about as popular as chlamydia, including in her own home state of California. She's so unpopular in her own home state, even with black people, that she had to drop out of the 2020 primaries before they even got to California. Usually California is like, yeah, when we get to California, you know, we'll be in business. But she knew she was going to get humiliated in California, her own home state. Again, so I gotta give us some credit. A lot of black people are finally starting to wake up and flee the plantation, the white liberal plantation, the Democratic Party. I just don't want to see us go to another plantation. You don't have to go to the Trump plantation. Jesus Christ. Do you really want to be over there with Diamond and Silk? Oh, I forgot one of them died. I want to say Diamond died. And Trump went to a funeral and claimed he didn't even know her. Yes. Trump went to her funeral and said, I didn't even know this woman. I never met her. Meanwhile, there's pictures of her and him in the White House. Is that the plantation you want to, migrate to? Again, you're going from the frying pan into the fire. When you have good, conscionable people like Cornel West out there. Imagine if the whole black community got behind Cornel West. That would send everybody a message. It would send the Democrats a message. You cannot take us for granted. You cannot just get a few rappers and LeBron James to say vote for us and we will do it. No more, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. No more. The reason there's a racial wealth gap is because black people don't know how to raise their own children, which is what Joe Biden said in the debates. That we need to have social workers come to our house to teach us how to raise our kids, and that black kids don't hear as many words, and we need to play more records for our children. Those are literally his words. Literally his words. They need to play more records for the children. But y'all went lesser to evil anyway. That's fine. Okay. But those days are coming to an end. As the polls say, younger black voters are not having it anymore. Younger Hispanics are definitely not having it. Hispanics in general ain't having it. You are not going to play the boogeyman. They try to play the boogeyman with the Hispanics and say, well, Donald Trump's going to deport your whole family. Oh, Donald Trump's going to do this. Man, you had whole Hispanic counties in Texas voting for Donald Trump. You had whole Hispanic counties in Florida voting for Ron DeSantis. Come on. Ain't nobody falling for that boogeyman trap except for a few black people. That is it. And not the younger generation either. People are waking up. But like I said, you don't go from the frying pan into the fire. You don't support somebody like Donald Trump. That is not what you do. That's like going from an abusive boyfriend to, to Hitler or something. Well, not literally Hitler, but, some super abusive guy. And if that's not bad enough, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that Joe Biden received money from Hunter and his son Hunter and his brother James Biden's deal with China Energy. Joe Biden's brother told the FBI agents that he and Hunter were trying to help CEFC China Energy purchase U.S. energy assets while they believe the company's chairman had direct ties to Chinese President Xi Jinping. Rob Walker, who was one of Joe Biden's business partners, also confirmed that the president attended a meeting with the CEFC chairman Yi Jiaming, who Hunter and James considered a protege of President Xi. The Biden family also allegedly received millions from CEFC China Energy, including $1 million wire transfers from CEFC's Patrick Ho, who Hunter called the spy chief of China after Ho was arrested by the Department of Justice for bribing African politicians with millions of dollars in cash for their country's oil rights. So in short, the president attended meetings and received money from his family's business deal with CEFC China Energy, a company where his brother and son collaborated with the individuals they described as the spy chief of China and a protege of President Xi. Wow. So props to Wall Street Journal for that story. Of course, the corporate media is not going to touch that, at least not yet. Not until they get ready to really try to push Joe Biden out of the White House, and then magically it'll be everywhere. You know, that's how things work, tend to work, unfortunately. Okay, folks, it's over. Oh, it's after 7 o'clock. It is 7:04 p.m., so we're in the second hour of the show. Later on in the show, we're going to get into the 15th anniversary of Barack Obama becoming the first black president of the United States, and the legacy of that moment and of his presidency 15 years out. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say, but that's later on. First, we're going to get into the Happy Happies. I'll be right back after these on the Region's Choice and the People's Voice, WLTH 1370M. That's 92.7 in the FM dial. We'll be right back.